Hi and welcome back. We're going to go ahead and do another recipe, another dinner. Today we're going to do some Indian curry, chicken curry. Just basic stuff. It's nothing fancy. I've always liked Indian food. Hi. Hi. Somebody's got the zoomies. Hi. And she wants the chicken. So, I've always loved Indian food. I was first introduced to this type of cooking in high school. I had a friend who was in my physics class who immigrated from India, and every time we would go to his house for tutoring or studying whatever test is coming up, his mother would have food, real Indian. I'm not too sure if it was Indian, Pakistani. I never asked where from India he was from or that region, but the food was phenomenal. And I started working on trying to get to that level of cooking for Indian. I'm still not there yet. So I'm still, getting recipes off of the internet to be able to try to replicate at least a little bit of what she did. I can still taste it, and it's been 35 years. So we're going to go ahead and make some chicken curry. This is a different recipe that I found online. It's not my recipe. So let's get started. Okay, so in the beginning, we're going to go ahead and warm up our pot. We're going to do this in our Dutch oven. We're going to go ahead and brown about 2 pounds of chicken in about a half a cup of oil. So make sure that there is plenty of oil in here to coat things. Let that warm up for a little bit. And you're going to go ahead and salt your meat. This works not only with chicken, but also any type of protein, beef, pork, even tofu, veggie. It all works. Let's go ahead and get this brown. You just want it brown. You don't want it cooked all the way through. It only takes about an hour to do this, full cooking time. I'm also going to make some really simple rice. It does have some spices in it, but it's very simple. And hopefully we can get that done while the rest of this is cooking, because the rice is only going to take 20 minutes. So within an hour you can go ahead and have a full meal if you need something quick. Close that for the noise. All right, so after that, you have the chicken out. We want to let it rest for a minute. We have a cup and a half of onions. I'm using spring onions only because of the fact that it's winter time and spring onions are out now. And you want to cook this until it's translucent. Along with a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of ginger. I'm using twice as much because garlic and ginger. And you also want to add a little bit of water to this and just let it cook until it's translucent. About a tablespoon. Shouldn't take too long. Couple minutes. Okay, and here we have our spices. Okay, what you want is that you want to go ahead and do 1 tablespoon of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a little bit more water. Once the onions are nice and cooked and translucent, you want to add your spices. Give it a good stir. Let cook for about another minute. God, I love this thing. Now to the onions, we're going to go ahead and add a 15-ounce can of tomatoes. Now I don't have 15-ounce cans. I have a 30-ounce can, so we're going to add half of this and put the rest in the refrigerator. And to this, we're going to add a cup of yogurt. I think you can use sour cream. I don't know if they're interchangeable in this recipe. Whatever you have. Just not cream cheese. Okay, we're going to stir it around a little bit. And we're going to add the chicken back in. And then clean up whatever mess is coming out of the pot. Never said this was going to be a clean recipe. And you want to make sure everything gets sauced. And to this, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of tikka masala. Okay, stir it up and let it sit and stew for about 20 minutes. Now the rice is going to be so simple. What I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and for every 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. Okay, and after that, you're going to Add a little bit of salt and your spices. I do apologize for Ayla. Thing number one came home from work. You're going to add some cardamom pods. Ideally, you want a large cardamom pod per half a cup, so 2. But I have tiny ones, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 4. And then a star anise. This will give it a really nice depth of flavor. It'll season the water where the fragrance will actually soak into the rice. You want to bring that up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, turn the heat off and just let it be for about 20 minutes. Okay, dinner is done. I've had this set and cooling off for a little bit because it got real hot. Okay, here we go. Here's the chicken. I made enough for 2 pieces per person. Okay, and here is the rice. You go ahead and fluff it up. Taste it. Make sure that it's done all the way. I've already done this. Okay, and if you want to, take some of the juice, pour it over and onto the rice, on the chicken. Add a smidge of lemon juice. And grab the fresh cilantro that you're growing in your garden because you thought you were growing parsley, but surprise, surprise, it's cilantro. Okay, and there you have chicken curry with nice, basic, flavorful rice. The garden is going. We are getting rain, more rain this year than last year, so cross our fingers we have something of a garden. And just work, sleep, garden, eat. Hopefully here pretty soon I'll have enough room in my refrigerator to do an Aldi's run to show you the cost of living and how much it costs to shop there. But we haven't reached that point yet. We don't eat that much food here. For the most part, we just eat dinners. Because that's when everybody is together. Breakfast is coffee. Lunches are whenever we're at work. Sometimes it's a sandwich. Sometimes we just go out. And then we have our dinners. So for 2 people, sometimes 3, doesn't really need that much food. Maybe I'll do some crafting. I'll have to think about that. I am working on a quilt. some crocheting projects. Don't need soap yet, but let me think about it for a little bit. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.